In the peaceful suburb of Willow Creek, Illinois, a night of babysitting turned into a scene of unimaginable horror on October 14, 2022. The Thompson family, Mark, Laura, and their two young children, Emily and Noah, were brutally murdered in their upscale home on Cedar Lane. The only person left to tell the tale was 17-year-old Hannah Carter, the family's trusted babysitter, who unknowingly captured the final moments of the massacre on the home's security camera system. What she recorded would reveal a killer so unexpected that it shook the entire community to its core, proving that sometimes the greatest danger hides behind the most familiar face. Hannah Carter was the kind of teenager every parent dreams of hiring. A junior at Willow Creek High, she was responsible, kind, and had a knack for connecting with kids. For over a year, she'd been babysitting for the Thompsons, earning the trust of Mark, a 38-year-old accountant, and Laura, a 36-year-old marketing manager. Their children, Emily, 6, and Noah, 4, loved Hannah, often begging their parents to let her stay longer. On that fateful October evening, Mark and Laura planned a rare date night at a local Italian restaurant, leaving Hannah in charge with instructions to have the kids in bed by 8:30 p.m. They waved goodbye at 6:45 p.m., promising to return by 10. It was the last time Hannah would see them alive. The evening started like any other. Hannah played chutes and ladders with Emily and Noah, read them Goodnight Moon, and tucked them into bed right on schedule. With the house quiet, she settled onto the plush living room couch to tackle some algebra homework, the baby monitor humming softly beside her. The Thompsons' home was equipped with a high-end security system, complete with cameras covering the living room, kitchen, front door, and backyard. Hannah, tech-savvy as most teens are, had figured out how to access the live feeds through the family's app on her phone. A little trick she kept to herself, thinking it might be useful to check on things without getting up. At around 9:15 p.m., a faint noise from the backyard caught her attention. At first, she chalked it up to a stray cat or the wind rustling through the fall leaves. But when the sound turned into a deliberate tapping, a chill ran down her spine. Opening the security app, she switched to the backyard camera. The night vision feed showed the empty patio and the kids' swing set swaying gently, but then a shadow crossed the frame. Too tall, too human to be anything but a person. Her pulse quickened as she zoomed in, catching a glimpse of a figure in dark clothing, face hidden by a hood, lurking just beyond the glow of the patio lights. Hannah's first thought was to call 911, but doubt crept in. What if it was just a neighbor taking a shortcut? She didn't want to alarm the Thompsons over nothing. Instead, she checked every lock on the doors and windows, then sent a quick text to Laura. "Hey, just making sure everything's okay. Thought I saw someone outside." Minutes passed with no reply, and her unease grew into dread when she heard the sharp crash of glass shattering from the kitchen. Switching to the kitchen camera, her worst fears were confirmed. The hooded figure was inside, stepping over the broken glass of the back door's window, moving with eerie purpose toward the hallway leading to the children's rooms. With trembling hands, Hannah dialed 911, whispering her location and pleading for help. She knew the police wouldn't arrive in time. Grabbing a kitchen knife for protection, she crept toward the stairs, her phone still recording the security feed. A piercing scream, Emily's, cut through the silence, freezing Hannah in place. Before she could decide whether to confront the intruder or hide, the figure appeared at the top of the stairs, a bloodied weapon glinting in their hand. Hannah ducked into the coat closet, her heart pounding so loudly she feared it would give her away, her phone capturing every terrifying moment through the cracked door. From her hiding spot, she watched the intruder descend the stairs and head toward the front door. Then, in a moment that would haunt her forever, the figure pulled off their hood, revealing a face Hannah knew all too well. It wasn't a random thief or a vengeful stranger. It was someone the Thompsons trusted implicitly, someone who had laughed and played with Emily and Noah countless times. Stunned, Hannah stayed silent, knowing her survival depended on it. The intruder slipped out into the night just as police sirens began to wail in the distance. Officers arrived minutes later, finding Hannah trembling in the closet, her phone still clutched in her hand. Upstairs, the scene was beyond comprehension. Mark and Laura, who had returned home early through the garage, lay lifeless in the hallway, victims of a savage attack. Emily and Noah were found in their beds, still under their blankets, as if they'd never had a chance to wake up. The brutality of the massacre left even seasoned responders shaken. Detective Michael Ramsey, a 20-year veteran with Willow Creek PD, called it the worst crime scene I've ever walked into. The security footage from Hannah's phone became the linchpin of the investigation, providing a minute-by-minute account of the horror. But it was the final frame, the moment the intruder removed their hood, that turned the case upside down. The face on camera belonged to Jessica Harper, Laura's 29-year-old younger sister and the children's adored aunt. Jessica was the family's golden girl, always present at birthdays and barbecues, the fun aunt who spoiled the kids with gifts and candy. No one could fathom why she would commit such an atrocity. Digging into Jessica's life, investigators uncovered a woman in crisis. She was buried under $80,000 in debt, recently fired from her job as a graphic designer and facing eviction. Her ex-boyfriend revealed a side of Jessica few had seen, bitter, envious, and consumed by resentment toward Laura's seemingly perfect life. She'd rant about how Laura got everything: husband, kids, big house, he told police. She'd say it wasn't fair. The motive crystallized when detectives found a life insurance policy on Mark and Laura, with Jessica as the secondary beneficiary after the children. With the family gone, she stood to gain over $1.2 million, enough to wipe her slate clean. Text messages between Jessica and a shady contact hinted at a plan to fix everything, though they stopped short of naming murder. When confronted with the footage, Jessica denied involvement, claiming she was at a friend's house that night. The alibi collapsed when the friend admitted Jessica left early for family business. DNA at the scene and the murder weapon found in her car sealed her fate. In a tearful confession, Jessica admitted to months of planning, saying, "I didn't want to hurt the kids, but I couldn't leave loose ends." Jessica Harper's trial, dubbed the Aunt of Evil by the media, gripped the nation. Prosecutors portrayed her as a calculating killer driven by greed, while the defense argued untreated mental illness and desperation pushed her over the edge. After a mere 6 hours of deliberation, the jury convicted her on 4 counts of first-degree murder. Sentenced to life without parole, Jessica's once bright smile was replaced by a vacant stare as she was led away. Hannah Carter, the babysitter who survived, became an unwilling hero. Though physically unscathed, the trauma haunted her. She testified at the trial, her voice steady as she recounted the nightmare, ensuring justice for the Thompsons. "I just wish I could have saved them," she told reporters, tears in her eyes. "I hear Emily scream every night." Her quick thinking with the security footage solved the case, but the weight of that night will never leave her. This chilling tale reminds us that evil can lurk behind the most trusted faces. It's a story of betrayal, loss, and a young girl's courage in the face of terror. What would you have done in Hannah's place? Could you have stayed as composed under such pressure? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this story gripped you. Stay tuned to Shocking Stories for more true crime mysteries that will make you question who you can really trust.